Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
Yay!
Hey, I was just making sure we're up on Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Okay, good. We had some Buzz Lightyear ad. That was cool.
What?
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. I didn't see the whole thing. I skipped through it.
Questionable.
Welcome,
Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
I'm confused.
First
What's
time
up,
on Rumble.
Rumble? What's up, YouTube?
And YouTube.
Welcome to Forbidden Frontier. No Krigler tonight. He is on assignment
With Zorbu.
with Zorbu on a ship.
I'm
He's on a
sorry,
ship.
Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
One of those things is true. It's Zorbu.
Good. He's off my back.
Hey, yes.
For now.
For now. Well, I don't know, man. Zorbu can get around. So, if you're new to the show on Rumble, this is our paranormal ancient civilizations, talking about all the woo-woo stuff that I have been into all my life. And so it's another passion of mine. And tonight's topics are pretty good, actually, and they're based on two History Channel weird shit shows that they. So we cover Skinwalker Ranch every week, and we're going to cover what Ancient Aliens talked about this last week, which is a subject I've actually wanted to talk about for a while, which is Stargates. Still don't like the movie very much, but I love the TV show's pretty good. TV show's pretty good.
Both good.
Okay, that's fine. It's fair
Kurt
enough.
Russell, man. Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell alone saves that movie. Kurt Russell's awesome. I don't care.
Kurt Russell is awesome, but he's in a couple of bad movies. All right.
There's not a bad movie with Kurt Russell in it.
Yes, there is.
No,
Death
there
Proof
Oh
sucks.
gosh.
He's
I
good
think
in
I
it.
should
That's
have
true.
I'd
pulled-
rather
Death
watch
Proof is
Stargate than
good.
Death Proof. Okay. I hate Death Proof.
Well, Death Proof is just a bunch of girls talking at a table.
God, I wanted to freaking scream. So, Planet Terror is really good. Like,
Yes.
loved Planet Terror that we're talking about Grindhouse. So I'm like, all right, here comes the Quentin Tarantino one.
Hey,
And
here we
it was
go.
just
Death Proof.
the whole fucking time. And I'm just like, I hope he kills him. I hope he kills them all.
Yeah.
Spade.
Stargates.
Glad I didn't watch
Stargate.
that.
Stargates, Skinwalker. Also, if you could find that article, it's very interesting. So it's confirmation. We could start with that. If you Adam put it in the Discord about Graham Hancock scuttling. They're scuttling some plans in America for Ancient Apocalypse season 2. But that means we're getting an Ancient Apocalypse season 2. But
Pretty-
Native
Got that theory?
Americans, he either put it in Forbidden Frontier or
Oh, I
research.
found it.
He did.
I'll give it to
But
you.
Native Americans here were like, no. I'm going to tell you, since we're on Rumble, so we're half okay. I'm going to tell you my theory of the indigenous people. They were definitely here first. They were definitely here before us. But there was people here before them. Now, I don't think it changes anything, personally. Like, politically, it doesn't change anything. It just changes the
Transient people.
it
We go all
changed-
over the world.
Well, yeah, they're not from here either. Okay. They believe they came through the ice-free corridor over the Bering Strait from Asia. Okay. I think there's DNA evidence that backs that up. But there's also DNA evidence in the middle of the rainforest of Polynesians, I guess, walking over the ocean thousands of miles in a time where they supposedly, according to science, didn't have the ability to traverse the Pacific Ocean, which is pretty big. The thing is, they did, because somehow they ended up there. So Netflix's Ancient Apocalypse scraps U.S. filming plans after outcry from Native American groups. Hit show's British host Graham Hancock has been criticized for promoting fringe beliefs about advanced lost civilizations. You know, the world needs heretics, as Graham Hancock has said. And remember when things were like, remember when it was a fringe belief to think that there's a shot out there that didn't really go through the normal protocols that possibly might not work? Remember when that was a fringe belief?
Yeah. You couldn't say things like ivermectin. Could say things like that. Now it's okay to say that because they came back on it and went, oh, wait, maybe we were wrong about it.
Stargates and other dimensions, when that was considered poppycock. Poppycock.
There's an article on that.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
It's very possible. So you go. We're going to talk about those fringe beliefs. I like being on the fringe. Right?
Fringe beliefs. It's just like the snake. What was that? What was the site? The Snake Hill
Serpent Mound.
Serpent Mound. That's right.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him in.
They wouldn't let him in to film because he has these racist fringe beliefs.
Yeah,
we just had a whole example of him with Flint Dibble, where he was proved
the Dibbler.
Correct.
Could you do your impression of him again, please?
All right, hold on. I do have a long sleeve, so it's perfect. I'm here. Graham Hancock is a racist, and I won't substantiate any of those claims. I'm sorry. This is my father's suit. I wear it because I'm proud of my father, which is fine. But you're a racist. Don't look at me.
I love that he wore his father's suit to call somebody a racist with nothing to back it up. I'm sure his dad would be fucking proud. Maybe he would be. I don't know. Maybe considering Flint, maybe his dad was stupid.
I will not take my hat off for any occasion.
I will not turn my neck.
A weirdo.
Controversial British writer Graham Hancock has abandoned plans to film a new season of his Netflix show, Ancient Apocalypse, in the U.S. following outcry from indigenous groups over the depiction of their history and culture. He's very respectful, by the way. If you know anything about it, he's very respectful. All he says is, well, there was people here before that. And we're not talking about humans in the human sense, in the modern human sense. We're also talking about Neanderthal and who knows what else. But there were people, there's the Clovis people, which, I mean, I guess maybe some survived, and the Native Americans, some could be descended from the Clovis people, but they got wiped out. We don't know where they are. We know they had a very specific type of arrowhead, amongst other things, but we haven't found a body. They suspect they know where some are, but they're under mounds and they can't dig them up. They can't dig them up.
This implies to me that what if the case was that they weren't the first people, right? Like, we're kind of starting to get hints at that's a possibility that they weren't the first people here, right? What if that is in fact the case? We're now not allowing people to study that because it hurts some people's fee-fees.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's just like some things just don't fall out the way that you thought they were.
History is going to hurt a lot of feelings.
Yeah, that's just like how it is.
That's what facts
You have
are.
to let people do that. And in America, to not allow somebody to ask questions and cover stuff, like it's all bunk. It's all bullcrap because he's not racist. There's so many examples of why he's not racist. It's just going off of the last article that came out. Whoever saw that he was shooting here, they went, oh, that's that racist Graham Hancock, because we read 3 articles from last time he released this show.
I think it's Nick Pope's wife or his girlfriend. I don't know which one it is. She's pretty based. So she's an academic, and she's been out there going, identity politics and DEI has completely invaded archaeology and science, and it's bunk now.
Dude,
it is now
antithetical to science.
So that's what we're fighting, and that's where the white supremacy bullshit comes on Graham Hancock, which is could
Really?
not be further from the truth, and it's laughable. Hancock is a former abandoned plans to film a Netflix show. U.S. following outcry indigenous groups over depiction of their historic culture. Hancock is a former journalist who has been criticized by experts for his promotion of fringe beliefs in the show, which represents theories about an advanced lost civilization active during the last ice age and prior to it, possibly.
Oh.
Producers of the show, which reportedly reached Netflix top 10 status in 31 countries, had applied for permits to film new episodes at the Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona and Choco Canyon, which we are going to go to. That's going to be a site that we go to this year.
He was going to go to those two locations.
It is. Choco Canyon's weird. It's definitely weird.
We were talking about the Grand Canyon a few episodes ago.
We were.
But the mystery's there. Why they won't let people go in certain areas.
National Historic Park in New Mexico. The Guardian has learned, despite strong objections from local tribal leaders, an application to film at the Grand Canyon. By the way, tribal leaders can't stop them from filming at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, what does that have to do?
Was lodged by ITN Productions, makers of Ancient Apocalypse, in February with permit for Choco Canyon, then granted. A National Parks MPS spokesperson confirmed. However, ITN told The Guardian that neither of the permits will be taken up with the show, instead looking to film at locations outside the U.S. The company declined to specify any reason for the move. I'll tell you why. They don't want the fucking headache. It's not worth it. There's probably more interesting stuff. You bring it to America. You might have brought, some money here. Fuck it. We don't want to hurt some feelings of people who you're not going on reservation. Now, you know what? They have a right if you're going on the reservation, but a national park, 2 national parks, but they were allowed. So it's Netflix that scuttled this, and it's probably because it's a fucking headache. According to information obtained by The Guardian through a Freedom of Information Act request, ITN did do some filming for 4 days in Choco Canyon in January. There you go. The crew planned to return to the park for more filming in March, but an email to Choco staff states they canceled the trip at the last minute due to some delays with permissions for some other sites, or we were hoping to film in. There you go. And they're on a timeline, and believe me, I think they're going to go heavy on South America because Graham was down there for a month.
I'm all about that, man. I'm all about that.
Do the entire season on that. I'm fine.
Yes.
I'm fine.
I'd love that too. Like in the future, if Ancient Apocalypse did hyper focused in regions of the world, like seasons on just Peru, just Egypt, that would be really cool.
Dude, I am stoked we're getting a season 2. I'm just
this is confirmation. I'm just great.
I am absolutely stoked we're getting a season 2. I cannot wait. I've rewatched that 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, so good.
I'm not
5 or 6
surprised.
times.
So good.
So America loses out again. Oh well. But we're gonna go to Choco Canyon. We don't need a damn permit.
Get it up.
We'll just break out our vlogging cams and say, fuck it.
Don't ask nobody.
I'm going to walk around there going, the aliens built it all. Yep. That's exactly what we're going to do.
They're all going to get offended.
But I'll mention it. It's the illegal aliens. It was the illegal aliens.
That's not okay to say either.
It's no
not in the
fun
UK.
being an illegal alien.
Are there any Stargates in Choco Canyon?
Maybe. Choco Canyon's weird because it's not near any water, right? So it's like Göbekli Tepe. It's not as old as Göbekli Tepe, but it doesn't make any fucking sense that people would be there and live without water. So I think the last academic documentary I saw, because it's filled with it's got circular structures, right. And then it's huge, and it really does kind of stand out for anything in America, right? Except for the pueblos, the built into the cliffs and stuff. But it's got these little chambers, a bunch of little chambers that they think was for storage, right? Because a human couldn't fit in them, and a human couldn't sleep in them, and there's no sign of char or anything. So they think it was a place of trading. And that's
what they said about the Turkey underground city. This is a trade location.
Daring Kuya, yeah. I'm sure it was at one point, but that's not why it was made. Did you guys check out the? Did you take a look? Yeah, there it is. It's rad. I want to go there. I want to go. It's not super. I mean, we can get there in a day and a half. We can get there.
That's super cool.
I don't know about X-Ray Girl, but
We can get there.
We can get there quick.
Hey, I'm coming in October for 2 weeks.
You just can't get enough, can you?
Yeah.
This freedom down here.
No, you know, I have looked at a couple houses.
Freedom isn't free.
There you go.
It's attainable.
Like you and me.
We'll see. We'll see.
Choco Canyon.
Choco Canyon.
Visit all those places.
Yeah,
there are some things in Canada, though.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff in Canada.
So I'll just have to hit that before I move.
But there's so much here. And what I've talked about before is like when I was a kid, I know we had abacuses and like we didn't even have the wheel. So like we all had to walk to school.
Antikythera mechanisms.
It was in a cave. It was in a cave. Our chalkboard was the cave wall. No, they didn't teach us about mounds or anything. Like,
yeah, I've never heard any of this
about mounds.
Yeah,
or any of that stuff. I was blown away when I lived in the Bay Area about Shell Mound, which I've talked about in the show before, which is in Emeryville, which is where Pixar is. So it's like a stone's throw from Pixar and an IKEA, and then another stone's throw from the hellhole known as Oakland, California.
And then Shell Mound,
where apparently you could just shop for free.
Hey.
But Shell Mound, they just wiped it out, and it was a giant mound of shells, and they have a little memorial for it now.
Was it a natural formation of
no, it was
collected, or somebody collected
a mound made of shells.
Wow,
that's cool.
It was huge. It was fucking huge. And there's like pictures of them destroying it. So if you want to look, but yeah, like that was there. And there was a bunch of mounds all over San Francisco, by the way. San Francisco was also where it was rumored you saw some of the giant natives at the time, like some of the giants. There's rumored to have giants on Catalina. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so we'll start out with let's start with Skinwalker because that's gonna be quick, right?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
No, they didn't follow up with the calf. So the calf, I guess, is doing better, but like, isn't it blind? Yeah, there's Shell Mound right there.
That's a huge ass mound of shells. So
fucking huge.
These are all shells?
It's dirt and shells, yes.
That's insane.
That's a lot of shells. Holy.
And what pulled out of there, who knows?
Yeah, like what?
That part. In there? We love mounds too, Glowy. I mean, we're all fans of mounds.
Yeah, fan of mounds. The mounds.
Joy's got nuts.
I'm not.
Mounds don't.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. More choices? Come on. Yeah, you are.
Okay.
So all right. So the calf, which was the most interesting thing that just all of a sudden had like major neurological. See, I have it. Damage, like something microwaved its brain where the blood vessels blew up behind the eyes.
Yeah.
And they said the calf is blind. They're like, it'll be fine. I'm like, I guess you could have that would take a lot of care.
Yeah.
We
were looking into
Clarkson's farm in Yellowstone, so I know everything about cattle ranching now.
Possibility is that it was bovine pink eye, basically, is where it gets into the eye and it like
they said
it can possibly rupture the thing, but it did have like brain
damage,
and that's why it was like going in circles and circles. So there's a little bit more than just the pink eye.
It could have had an aneurysm, but like,
and when they said like it's doing much better now, I'm thinking like it's doing much better now, as the ranch does on the ranch.
And the calf's mom went with the calf. So I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Why did they take the mother too?
Drilling's not work. Well, they did talk to that cop again who had been around forever prior to the Bigelows and stuff, and he talked about a craft that crashed, which I've heard about before. That big hole in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent an arborist up to go check out the hole in the tree, and he said, "Yeah, some of these branches look like they broke off about 30 years ago." But again, it doesn't prove anything. I guess the most interesting thing is the gel, the little gelatinous stuff that was.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yes.
They took this. They were in the dig. they pulled out this gelatinous gel.
That was green.
It was green, and then they pulled out another one that was red.
I would hope gel is gelatinous. I just want to point that out, but I said it too.
You're right. You're right. There was a green one and a red one. I was thinking some kind of like fungus or maybe like some kind of organic material forming inside of the mesa underground. Maybe there's like a spring under there or something.
What they come up with, but you go back to the hole in the tree, and then what they come up with actually goes into Randall Carlson territory, by the way. So we'll talk about that because I think it's far more interesting. I don't think they're drawing the right conclusions.
Yeah,
that's just me. I'll come with my own conclusions. But yeah, so that is a weird hole in the tree. That is pretty noticeable. It's like it looked like something popped through that. It could be natural too.
My thing about this was if there's a crash and the hole is up here, but the crash was below the tree,
it came in sideways.
Came in sideways.
That would
be
the
tree's here and it goes like that.
How could there be a crash to that? I mean, maybe
you'd have some charring on it, I think.
Unless it popped that panel off, it went through the tree and popped off a panel. And that's what was under the tree.
Yeah, like maybe it's debris. I mean, who knows?
I don't know.
A meteor strike. I don't know. Same thing as a UFO, I suppose.
Travis Taylor.
He was in both shows we watched.
Yes, he was.
That was a pleasant surprise.
He gets around.
That's the arborist. He goes up there.
He looks like an arborist with that fucking man bun. Cut that shit.
Dude pulling it back because he didn't want to get all tangled in all the ropes.
I don't know. Cut your hair then, hippie.
What's wrong with having long hair, man? No.
Nothing. I had fucking hair down to my ass in the 90s. So
did you put it in a man bun though?
No, but I did put it in a ponytail, which is almost equally annoying. I wore a hat.
Basically no difference.
I wore a hat back. I look like Jason Mewes.
Yeah, he goes up there, he measures the diameter of the hole, checks the broken, that there is actually broken limbs up there that he says was about 30 years. And I'm like, it's very specific.
That had grown out, yeah.
Very specific.
Very specific. So they're like, well, I mean, that means something broke off the branches.
30 years
ago. It could be
ago.
a UFO. Who knows?
This is the part where I feel like, okay, you're filling the episode now.
This episode's filler.
You're filling it.
I don't like this part. No.
The end where they get to where they basically go over the gelatin.
They get back to the goo.
Oh, and the little piece of wood that they thought was wood.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That's where we get to Randall territory. Cool. So again, remember that pink stuff they found when they sent the camera in season 2?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Oh, yes.
And I'm surprised they didn't bring this up. When they squished the green goo, it turned pink sometimes, and I'm like, well, that looks like that pink dust
stuff
that was down there, that they said was part of some chemical reaction or something. But here's what I think it is. So that they found a piece of wood that they thought was charred wood. Turns out, X-Ray Girl, what is that?
I forgot the word for it. Some sort of aquatic.
It's an aquatic plant. So obviously it's porous. So it was underwater. So what's it doing inside the mesa? And then they used the term debris field, but they didn't use it in the way that I'm going to use it in the Randall Carlson sense. It's a debris field from a flood. From a flood, and some of it was charred. So some of that wood was charred. Like there was, and that guy said,
"How does it get 200 feet into the mesa?"
Well, I'll tell you.
Into the mesa.
I'll tell you what's part of Randall's whole theory and the Comet Research Group theory is a comet struck the ice cap. So that's why it didn't leave a crater. A bunch of shit in the atmosphere, ice and material like rock. It came down. The rock came down on fire and set North America on fire.
That would explain the goo with the burnt
fire
stuff in it.
Yep.
Stuff. Interesting. Okay.
Yes. So, and that guy said, "Hey, we study ancient forest fires, and one of the biggest in history was if the Comet Research Group is correct, even if they're not, even if it's Robert Schoch's theory, and this is scientifically provable through backed up by scientists, so I'm going to say scientifically researched, of the major forest fires. Like there's biochar fucking everywhere because I forgot the percentage that Randall said. It's a very large percent of plants were burned, and the entire continent was on fire, and some of it was put out by the flood. That didn't cover the entire country, but large portions of it. Like that's why I would love a video, like somebody do some graphics to show what it looked like, because if you got to dig through Randall's videos and it takes hours, but what he basically shows is these type of maps that are topographical, right? And he takes away all the vegetation and stuff, and you see all the grooves of all the water that came down from the north, and it's huge. And there's two big ones. There's one in the west and there's one in the east where the water just poured down. And yeah, it looks like there was a big flood. Now, could that be millions of years of the water coming down from the north? Sure. But the problem is what got him into this in the first place is he was looking over a lake in Minnesota, and he was noticing the lake is little and it's in this giant valley that was dug out by some point. So at some point there was enough water in there to carve that out. Now it's never gotten there since. So it had to be a flood. And you see that with washes. You see it like in Fractal. If you're driving through Arizona or Nevada, you see all the washes from all the flash floods. And you'll see like sometimes in winter, a little trickle of water in this giant carved out, what looks like a riverbed. And it's a flood. It's a wash. So at some point the water does get that high.
Right. Yeah. During the high seasons. And then just extrapolate that to much larger, what was it? 3 mile high rushes of water running through your entire country. Like,
not even
kind of carve some stuff up. Anything that was there before is not there anymore.
So that's where those little dots is the char that the guy's noticing in the gel that they flattened out here under the microscope. So I'm like, well, I think we're getting more not into like there's a ship in the mesa, but I think if you look at the geography of that area, it's got a bunch of mesas. So it was either underwater or there was water there carving it out at some point. Now I'm sure at some point it was underwater, kind of like parts of Texas.
Yeah.
All of Texas was underwater at some point, but yeah, I thought that was the most interesting part. I just didn't agree with their drawn conclusions.
Yeah, they built it up into a crash site. So whatever the dome-shaped object in the mesa is possibly a crashed ship of some kind. It burned everything in the area. It still doesn't how does it get 200 feet under the mesa and then get buried by the mesa?
Yeah.
Like, how does it get down there?
Water. That would be my theory.
It gets rushed down there in some way.
Water. I don't think they have earthquakes out there. I'm sure they exist at some point, but they're not near any major faults there. But that still wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's when you drive, totally off topic here. I was just thinking about earthquakes. So I'm going to be driving to San Diego. So if you drive on from Texas, you go up 10, you hit 8, Interstate 8. You just drive through the fucking desert the rest of the way. There's a part right when you get before Borrego, ends the Borrego Desert in San Diego. It is rocks. I don't know how they even made the fucking road. It is
just nothing but boulders. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's just
giant fucking boulders.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. And if there was an earthquake, all that shit would come down. But yeah, it's insane. And
what's under the boulders?
And those boulders were underwater at some point. They're all rounded and stuff. It's crazy if you've ever been there. But yeah, that was that episode. Let's get to read some soups and we'll get to Stargate. We'll get to Stargates. Because I like Ancient Aliens. Little long in the tooth.
And I was looking at the whole season. There's like half of the season is top 10s. I'm like, they're running out of ideas, running out of stuff. Like several of them are actual episodes on topics.
Sorry, public service notice brought to me by It's a Gundam, by the way. If you have an X account, just observed a new X branded phishing scam. It's fake. Do not respond. If you see this without forensic check first, and it says we've noticed a log into your account from at Dave Troy from a new device. So don't click on those. Don't click on those. Thanks, Gundam.
Okay.
Thanks, Gundam. But yeah, Ancient Aliens, been around a long time. But I thought the last episode, at least that, like what we talked about, the last half of the last episode, really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Good stuff. So Zorbu, 2 parts for $40 says, hey, we are not hanging with Krigler. So maybe check a truck stop in Sweden, okay? Do they have
Wow.
So,
Do they have trucks up there? I don't know.
they have teeny trucks. They have these
They're
cute little
cute.
trucks.
Like they're like
little lorries. Little lorries. They're not like our
Swedish people are like half the size of real people.
North
here.
That's what I heard. Well, Adam's never mind. So at least it works, buddy. At least it works. You got a kid coming. No, not like our trucks here in North America. Those are fucking trucks.
Big rig.
Hail the truck drivers, man. Hate to do this, Earth Gary, but if it's okay, I have a shameless plug for my band Zorbu and the Neptunes. We're opening up for Joe Satriani in Atlantic City at the end of August.
Wow.
Tickets will be available. Promo code Garrett is an easy probe for 10% off. Thanks. Hey, you're welcome, man.
I was almost going to be like, congratulations, but no, I take it back.
Toxic Man Flu has gifted 10 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $50. Hail, Josh Kelsey has dropped 20 and walks away. That's what he does. That's what he does.
You do.
And Zorbu has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. He's just trying to butter Garrett up. Literally.
I appreciate the 5 memberships. Them. I appreciate them, not you.
He butters you up.
Hey.
Brenda, $49.99. Thank you very much for Peru trip. In case you're tempted to check out the temple on top of Hyena Picchu next to Machu Picchu. Oh, is there some place next to Machu Picchu we can go to? Hell yeah. Just remember, you're starting out at a high elevation, and the last 75 feet is basically vertical. I almost blacked out. So be careful. Have a safe trip. While we are training,
We'll take our time.
Yeah.
Are you doing a Stairmaster?
Dude, Stairmasters suck. Yes.
I hate
I'm
it.
doing it. It sucks so bad.
No, do elliptical.
Well, I come in and I do the
ellipticals.
Stairmaster for 10, 15, and then I go over to the elliptical and the
do 'em for, like,
treadmill.
45 minutes.
Well,
You
the
need the Stairmaster,
treadmill
honestly.
treadmill on a high vertical.
So I'm going on
I can't do
long
45
walks,
minutes. I'm
going
done.
on long walks in Texas heat. I'm getting my I'm
Getting
tired
weights
of-
on.
I'm actually buying a weight bench for the house. So I got tired of waiting for the machines at the gym. I'll still do it there, but I'm gonna get I got a punching bag. I'm gonna go Rocky on this shit. I don't know what I'm gonna be punching in Peru, but it's a good workout. It's hitting a punching bag with some metal for like a half an hour. That's fucking good.
Get your
It
heart
gets
rate
a
up.
lot of rage out too, if you have any.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
Is
Anyway.
that a song line?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Come on.
I don't have time to take you to rock and roll school too. Okay.
It's all good.
You know what? You just have to go, like with me and Melissa, you'll have to go on one of our long drives, and that'll be your rock and roll school. I'm like,
Yes. Let's do it.
Basil 578 for $20 says, wait, some Native American tribes have said publicly that they were not responsible for the structures that are found in their range. Exactly. Native American tribes have no concept of land ownership before we came, taken from others. Yeah. And by the way, it's hashtag not all. There's a lot of tribes who are completely fine with this, completely open to the Star People. Have the ones at Serpent Mountain said, we didn't build this. But we'll take care of it. And like that part I get. If the Native Americans are even aware that, hey, we didn't build this, but if we don't say like we're responsible for it, then it'll get knocked down. And promises have been broken to them in the past, right? So I get the fact that they want to preserve that stuff, and I'm all for it as long as people can look at it. As long as people can still look at it, preserve it all day long. That's fine. I'm good with that. And again, like the Hopis, like they have some crazy mythology. That's their history. Look into it. And they don't talk about it openly. You have to like be friends with an elder. There's a lot of stuff that they just won't talk about, which I respect too. I think, I don't know, this might sound a little cold-blooded. I think it's okay to dig up some old bones. I do. I think to find out more about our history, I think it's okay as long as you can even, put them back.
As long as you're respectful and you do it in a respecting manner and you're there for knowledge.
If somebody digs up my bone, yeah, I'm fine with it. Okay. I'm fine.
Come on.
Rastlin Majir 1 for $2 says, Rumble, can X-Ray Girl finally release all those curse words she struggles to hold in? No, she doesn't curse.
No.
She just doesn't fucking curse. I don't know why, but she doesn't fucking curse.
Weird.
All right. Stargate.
Flippin'. Yeah. I did it.
Your dog just said fuck.
No, she didn't say the F word.
Yeah.
She didn't say the flipping word.
Yeah, she did. She just dropped it. She just dropped it. All right. So this episode is on Stargates, and of course there's the see if you can find this. Garrett, you're working on the video, so X-Ray Girl. Find an article if you can on we invaded Iraq to get to a Stargate. Start with that, Google. Because that's you ever heard that one?
Oh.
Like the reason we the
whole scenario was WMDs was really just a Stargate?
Yeah.
Bro.
Well, okay, you know what did happen? The Baghdad Museum did get completely looted and cleaned out, and we did some of it.
Where did it go? I feel like
that's another thing I want to talk to Jimmy.
No,
we should talk to Jimmy about that because he was over there.
That would be really interesting to talk to him about that. Yeah.
If he wants to talk about it, like maybe he doesn't, but
oh, sorry.
Fact checked. Well, no, don't bring up fucking Newsweek.
You got to bring up your enemies.
I don't know.
Bring up somebody who's just going to talk about the theory. I don't want to hear about it being debunked. Like, who knows, by the way. I personally think we went over there to start a war for the military industrial complex. That's why I think we went over there. And maybe there's some spoils we took, but okay.
It is very ancient. It is very
but that's one of the Art Bell's done shows on them, and it's an interesting theory that we went over there. It makes for a good movie plot. Like we started an entire war to get a Stargate. Get a Stargate that apparently was in the hands of a dictator for years. But yeah, there's Stargate. They've been around forever. I love in the show they go to they go
Lake
to
Titicaca.
They go to Lake Titicaca. You just like saying Titicaca.
I do. But we're going there. We got to go there. Is it on the list of
I don't think it is, but maybe.
We might have to do a little detour.
They pull up, the Pulp magazine from 1931. Astounding Stories. The March 31, 1931 Pulp magazine was considered to be the Meteor Girl story was the first mention in pop culture of a Stargate. Now, the concept of a Stargate has been around since ancient mythology, but they draw on this conclusion. This is something I did not know. I learned it. I actually looked it up on eBay. I was like, maybe I should buy this.
I get it.
It's kind of expensive, but maybe I get it. Maybe I'll get it. So yeah, the Meteor Girl is where they first mentioned Stargates in pop culture, but again, it's been around in mythology forever. And the concept of a Stargate, if you're not, I'm sure most of you know, is it's a portal. The kind of energy it's basically a wormhole, a black hole, a way instead of traveling through in a ship, you just walk through a door. And
it's a classic Event Horizon.
Yes. He froze
in space and time.
He's back now. He's still frozen. Now
you were frozen for me.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, now you're frozen again.
I'm not frozen. I can move.
Oh, now you're frozen.
No, she just wasn't moving.
I was reading.
So is
Have
it
you-
not just me? Is it me?
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's you.
I'm so confused.
That's your constant.
All right, hold
state.
on. This is for me.
So
Garrett's internet.
might be Garrett's internet. So this episode is about Stargates, but it's not just like the one like where it's that T-shaped carving near Lake Titicaca where it becomes a gate that you like walk through. They talk about some Bermuda Triangle stuff. They talk about some weird disappearances. It's mainly about portals and the possibility of portals to other dimensions, being able to get to other parts of the universe. Now, opening up a Stargate, I'm sure, like on a micro level, we might have already figured this out. Here's my question. Say you have some apparatus, some machinery that can like make a little, like the size of a pinhead Stargate, right? Aren't the chances really good it's just going to be a Stargate to the vacuum of space?
Right. And that is not good if you're in an atmosphere.
Or
yeah, the other option
Yeah.
is you're going to open up a Stargate to another dimension, and who knows what's over there. Going back to Event Horizon.
Event Horizon, great movie.
What
Great
could be
fucking
on the
movie.
other side of that Stargate? Who knows? It could be invisible entities that just want to cause torment in your brain or something. I don't know. That's a bad idea.
What if it's just going on the other side of the mirror? And
That would be
it's
cool.
Alternate universe, and you just pop a hole into the alternate universe at the same location you're in, like, and there's just an alternate you, and
Like
and
through the
depending on
looking
which one
glass.
it is, it could be just the same. They bring this up in the show. There's a show that does this. It's called Counterpart, but instead of poking a hole in an alternate reality, it's through a Russian experiment. They copied reality and created the other dimension.
Huh.
And it was an exact copy at first, and then as time went on, it drifted. And people would come over, and they had doubles, and it was a short-lived show. Great concept. J.K. Simmons, first season is fucking magnificent. Kind of a rush second season because it got canceled, but so
if you were in the if you had the system, you had the button that could open up a wormhole. You don't know what's on the other side of it. Would you press the button?
I don't know what's on the other side of it, so I can unleash like some Cthulhu god
I
on this
wouldn't.
world.
Yeah, or it could be
No, thank you.
teleportation to the other side of the galaxy, or the parallel universe, like you just said. You don't know. Who knows?
I wouldn't do it, but somebody would. Some dumb fucking scientist with no common sense.
They're all about pressing those
lots
buttons,
of
man.
book
What
learning,
about you,
but
Garrett?
no common sense. No, they would do it.
I'm pressing the button.
I knew it.
Like I said, no common sense.
You know, I'd press that button.
I do.
How about you, X-Ray Girl?
No, I'm too scared to walk into a building that might be haunted. Of course, I'm not.
But we're gonna
press
do
the
it.
button. I know.
We're
I'm
gonna do it.
scared.
I just wouldn't want to be known as the asshole who let the Cthulhu god in. Okay,
At that point, nobody's gonna know because we're all gonna be dead.
I would know
So
for a
it's like a win-win.
nanosecond before I was vaporized. But
Like, not again.
so this is a weird thing. And it's that T-shape again. That T-shape we see fucking everywhere. Hey, there's Brian Forster, a pixelated Brian Forster. I got our buddy. So yeah, they this is the first thing you think of when you see Stargate, and this is in the middle of nowhere. This carving is in the middle of nowhere.
Lake Titicaca.
Lake Titicaca, which wasn't the middle of nowhere for one. It was larger. It's still like the largest freshwater lake in South America, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Is that's the lake that has the freshwater seahorses, correct? The freshwater seahorses.
That's amazing. How
That's weird.
did
It
they
looks
get in
like
there?
the pillars of Göbekli Tepe. Yes, it does. And there's other T
Yeah,
pillars.
isn't that interesting? The T pillar. Yeah. Oh, I got that article if you want to talk about that article.
Yeah. I mean, that looks like a Stargate. You think Stargate, you see that, you're like, yep, somebody just doesn't know how to turn it on. You need to have U.S. invaded Iraq to seize Saddam Hussein's alien portal claims conspiracy theorists. God, I love stories like this. A U.S.-led 2003 invasion of Iraq was launched because former dictator Saddam Hussein had a portal to an alien world. A conspiracy theorist claims Michael Sala, an Australian self-styled expert in extraterrestrial politics, believes that the United States and its allies invaded the country to take control of Hussein's access to alien weapons through the Stargate. I think he would have used them.
Yeah.
I think he would have escaped. Well, then maybe that's why they took the Stargate, because he couldn't escape. Sala believes the extraterrestrials from undiscovered 10th planet in our solar system have long been interfering in human politics. I think it was just a big part of the reason why the Bush administration went to Iraq, to stop Hussein from revealing his information and also to get control themselves, Sala said, according to the British newspaper, the Daily Star, reputable newspaper there. Okay. He added that the U.S. and Britain used the pretext of weapons of mass destruction and alleged connections between Saddam and Al-Qaeda to invade Iraq, topple Saddam, and secure the portal for themselves. Well, a lot of that is just true. I mean, I don't think Saddam Hussein liked Al-Qaeda. I just think they both hated America. But remember, America loved Saddam Hussein for a long time because he was giving Iran hell for a long time, and we backed him until we didn't.
Yes, until he was inconvenient.
Hear that, Zelensky?
Yeah,
we backed him until we didn't. Okay, just wanted to point that out. The exopolitical analysis, other theories include that the oldest pyramid on Earth is hidden under snow in Antarctica, and that the U.S. Navy has a secret space program. Well, America has a secret space program. Does anybody not believe we don't have a secret? Now, I don't think it's beaming people to Mars, but we have a secret space program.
Yeah, it's not a stretch.
Called the military. That's not a fuck. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous that we would have secret programs that deal with space.
Kind of how the government works, how they operate.
Jesus Christ.
Secretly. Yeah, I think like if there was a Stargate there and there was some kind of weaponry that he would use it some way, right?
Do I think private collectors or dictators or our government or the Vatican has some kind of crazy Atlantean technology? Yeah, I do. I think the Antikythera mechanism is a mere abacus compared to what they have. Oh, no. I absolutely believe that. If not, like, and why do they hide all this information? Well, the Vatican, and like, no disrespect to Catholics out there, but your Pope is a commie. But
started saying some weirdly based stuff recently. I'm like, what's up with this weird sea change?
But it's
like he's like, okay, winds are changing. Let's start saying some other things.
But the clergy had been infiltrated by Marxism a long time ago. And you would think, oh, that's weird. You're not supposed to believe in God if you're a Marxist. They figure it out. They figure out a way to rationalize it. Do I think that we went to Iraq to get a Stargate? I think we went to Iraq and made up a war to test weapons and to keep the machine going. You know, Rome's economy was basically conquering. So they found shit to conquer, to assimilate. That was their basis of their economy. Yes, beware the military industrial complex. But Stargate, our military industrial complex does want Stargates and is probably working on them. Nick Pope made a great point. This is a great war technology. Imagine being able to put a missile in a little portal that won't get tracked, that just shows up right over when it's too late. Boom. Or a laser, or SEAL Team 6, or whatever, you know. So I'm certain it would make a big difference. The cloaking technology that was supposedly we were working on with the Philadelphia experiment, which was giant generators making a magnetic distortion, basically to make ships invisible. And now the theory is it melted the veil. It destroyed, it pierced the veil between reality and another dimension. And when the ship reappeared, there was people
Fused,
like in the walls. Yeah, they all
fused in bulkheads and disappeared.
It's a cool movie, the Philadelphia Experiments. Cool book. There's a good book on it. It's about 30 years old now. Read that one in prison. I did. So they talk about some, normal stuff, Lake Titicaca. They talk about Bermuda Triangle. Go to that guy. We've discussed him in the past. Garrett, go to the guy who decided to ski across one of the Great Lakes, right?
Yes, one of the Great Lakes. Here we go. All right.
When it was
I believe
frozen.
it was Michigan.
Lake Michigan. When it was frozen, he went out for...
Because it's the Michigan Triangle.
Yeah.
It's the disappearances have happened in there.
What was his name again?
We turn the subtitle on.
I'll get it.
Michigan Triangle.
Stephen Kubacki.
Stephen Kubacki is his name. So he took a little trek with some skis and a backpack and stuff, and on Lake Michigan, disappeared. They found his stuff, and then they followed his footsteps, which ended. They thought he fell through the ice,
disappeared,
and he was dead.
No signs of ice breakage. His footprints just disappeared. Reported him dead, and he showed back up
in Massachusetts, 40 miles from his... Waking up on some grass 40 miles from his dad's house in Massachusetts a year later. And that's fucking weird. That's where Dave Polides has talked about him.
Yes.
By the way, missing 411. We're going to try to get him on the show, by the way. Love that guy. He's fucking incredibly based, for one. But love that guy. Yes. So South Deerfield, Massachusetts, 24-year-old former college student who had believed to have drowned last year in Lake Michigan is back home, saying he has no memory of the last 14 months of his life. Now, could he just have said, fuck it, I'm going to Mexico, I'm going to do a bunch of drugs and screw a bunch of hookers for a year and come back and go, I don't know what happened.
Look, I don't know, man.
Sure. But Stephen Kubacki says he woke up Saturday night 40 miles from his father's house. He was the subject of an intense search after his skis and backpack were found along Lake Michigan shoreline south of Holland, Michigan. Holland.
Yeah.
On February 20th, 1978. I was 8 years old back then. Clothes weren't his. The clothes he was wearing weren't his. They told us he slipped. It was Zorbu. Makes
sense.
Yeah. So and portals have there's been a lot of the hippies talk about this in Northern California, especially when you go up north. There's a lot of places in the forest they say have portals and are special energy places.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes.
That's
lots of weirdness. I just think, a lot of the times I think it's just a lot of fucking hippies on drugs, but a
little bit of that.
It is weird up there.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah. You get a weird feeling in some of those places. Weird feeling. So this was the Michigan Triangle, and then there's one over Massachusetts, and there's one in Alaska, and they went over all that. The most interesting thing to me was go up a little bit. This guy, Richard Dodie. Yep. So he says he was overseeing an experiment where they were using magnetic panels of some kind and a laser. And
chemical laser. Not an energy laser. Yeah.
A chemical laser, and that they punched a hole in reality and they were successful. Like they created, they punched
for
a
a
hole
period, right? Not
for like
not like
2 or 3
completely-
seconds. 2 or 3 seconds. And I don't know how big the hole was. I'm guessing it's whatever the size, like size of a pinhead. But that's pretty significant. That's pretty significant.
Back to the idea is like if they had this technology, they would be using it. It seems like they have not cracked the actual use case for it. Like they haven't made it usable. They can prove that it's possible.
No practical application.
But it has not had a
practical application. So I could totally believe that we have, in some micro level, been able to do this. Been able, like, the amount of energy it would take to make a big one that we could walk through, and then being able to map it and coordinate it.
Like how do you?
Yeah, like I think you're more likely to punch a hole to deep space and you get sucked through the hole. You would just get sucked through the hole, unless it doesn't work. The mechanics don't work like that. But Richard Dodie does say, like, listen, there's things you actually have to think about. For one, it will be proof there's other dimensions, and if there is, then there's things you need to think about. What's on the other side?
Exactly.
What's on the other side? Is it a danger? And what are the practical applications of this? Can it be? So if we truth seekers, just like, hey, it'd be cool to figure it out. Maybe we'll meet some new people. No, the government and corporations, can we monetize it and weaponize it?
Right.
And I don't think we're at that point.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm talking, I can believe that, like a pinprick.
They figured out a way to open it just a little bit, but not enough to actually do anything or put anything through it.
This is where science gets really fucking dangerous, because I think science isn't human enough. And they're like, well, there's a lot of money involved, and we get our research, and we want to, we get so autistically into finding the truth that we don't think about, like, we can do it, but should we do it?
Should we?
The ethics of it. Yeah.
I think they just do it.
I think a lot of times they just do it.
Because there's something like admirable about just trying to find the truth in everything and going down that road. If you could open up a wormhole, like we want to know what's on the other side of that, right?
Yep.
But the dangers of doing that, do they outweigh the benefits? Who knows? We have to open the door first.
I'd love for there to
that
be
door.
wormholes and for us to travel interstellar space. I want all that shit to happen.
Oh my God. If I didn't have to get on a plane, that'd be great.
Fucking
You're like,
Imagine.
I could just like Stargate to Peru. That would be awesome.
you don't have to take 2 planes.
Or 3.
Stargate to the movie theater and didn't have to drive there. I'd do that. That'd be...
So this is from Science America.
Wormhole tunnels in space-time may be possible, new research suggests. There may be realistic ways to create cosmic bridges predicted by general relativity. But as David Hatcher Childress mentions in the show, we need to be able to map these locations and coordinate our way through it. We can't just go in there willy-nilly. No.
Say we tie a rope around our waist like in Poltergeist and just go in there.
And then pull it and you get some ectoplasm
all over your hands, maybe.
Bit. Might be good for your skin, though.
Face,
it
neck,
might
and
actually
chest,
be
but
good
it
for
doesn't happen.
moisturizing your skin. You never know. Yeah.
I think we should do it.
I think we should try it.
X-ray, you want to go?
No. So that was the more interesting scientific thing. And then they get into Paul Stamets. Like I love that they report on Paul Stamets tripping balls and seeing. So he found some psilocybin mushrooms, and I mean, he knows what he's looking for, because he knows what he's looking for. You don't just want to pick up mushrooms off the ground and fucking eat them. Okay. Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
They could be poisonous.
And you want to wash the trippy ones, because mostly they grow under cow shit. Right.
Ew.
Yeah. So he was just curious about the mushroom's psychedelic effects. So he ate them, and he had a vision of dead cows. And 5 days later, he drove to a place where there was a bunch of dead cows. Now they were talking about, like, did his mind go through a portal? Or how about this one? Because of the network underneath mushrooms goes
a mycelium network.
Network. Maybe his trip tapped into the memory of the mushrooms he consumed to the mushrooms that were witnessed
there.
to the dead cows.
Maybe.
See, I've tripped on acid before, and we've had
Like
these
a
conversations
network
a lot.
of mushroom memories?
Yes.
There is actually that is actually something that is real. The mushrooms can communicate like through a forest if they're all connected like that. They can communicate dangers to the other areas, and they'll put out spores or change the way they behave based on information that they get from other networks. It's super interesting, and it's also the way that like our brains are wired similar to mycelial networks, like our synapses and all that.
Yeah.
Our brain.
Joe
brains are
Rogan
built in a
interviews Paul
interesting way like that.
Stamets. It's a good interview.
It is, yeah, and he's wearing that mushroom hat.
That mushroom hat. That's a really fucking good episode. By the way, the Jimmy Dore one he just did, fucking classic. Jimmy
He's
Dore's
been doing like a lot of great ones recently.
By the way, our boy Kurt Metzger works with Jimmy Dore. My friend Kurt Metzger works. I fucking love Kurt so much. Kurt is the best. They bring up Kurt. They go, Kurt thinks everything's a conspiracy. Yes, and Kurt's right. We need to get Kurt on this show.
We should. Dude, I talked to him. He did say he wanted to come on.
All right,
so we got to reach out.
Call him.
We got to reach out.
Kurt is fucking awesome. I love that guy.
That is a good dude.
Yeah, and like, he's the way he is in his routine. Like some people are just funny, but like Kurt, just how he delivers like regular conversation is fucking funny. So like Kurt's the real deal.
It's not an act when he's on stage.
No, and he's a super talent. He should have Netflix specials and all this crazy shit, and he doesn't. So basically, and Travis Taylor talks about like how we used to think that taking acid and stuff would make your brain overreact, and that's why you're having hallucinations, when in truth it puts your brain in almost a hyper meditative state. So so on LSD you are not supposed to be hallucinating. You are not supposed to hallucinate on LSD. If you do, then it is cut with strychnine, which they do. That does happen. Okay. And that gives you a little bit of the hallucinate. But LSD is supposed to be, it's a visual trip, but you're not like seeing things. As a matter of fact, I hallucinated way more on sleep deprivation than anything else, because I'd be up for days and days on speed.
What's the difference? Do you mean like on LSD, you're seeing stuff move, but you're not seeing
like
things that don't exist?
You're just seeing things like move. So you're not seeing like when you're on shrooms or you're up too long or you're on mescaline, and when you're driving down the road, quite often a road sign will look like a person. It'll start looking like a walking, talking person.
Oh my.
That's a straight up hallucination. I have also seen a purple gorilla pull a boat across a street at night. Okay, that's a legit hallucination.
There wasn't like a homeless person like walking across the street or something.
No,
like,
it was nothing was there. My friend, I'm all. Are you seeing this? My friends all no. So I'm tripping balls.
Bro, just like the cartoons right there.
When you're on acid, like things will start moving. So I guess it's kind of a hallucination. But if you never stare at yourself in the mirror, because you will be there all night. It will fascinate you. Your own face will just become a stranger. Cottage cheese on the ceiling.
Oh, I'd imagine that'd be
balls for hours on cottage cheese on the ceiling.
Bro.
Yeah. Are you talking about like the ceiling was flat, or did you have popcorn ceiling?
Popcorn.
The best way to describe it, and it's not that different for everybody, but it feels like you're like one phase out of reality, and you're just observing it, and it's
like your out of body experience a little bit,
and it's kind of funny.
Interesting.
Yes,
that's something that's interesting. Like we're looking at all these different topics going through the shows, and we went to Cosmic Summit, and a lot of those are kind of similarly talking about this psychedelic aspect of our brains and what our brains do when we're on that, and is that something that could connect us? Like Luke brought up a great point when he was hypothesizing the different places around the world that create technology that are very similar to each other. They feel like they're very directly connected to each other. What if it's more of a psychedelic connection, and it's something that we can tap into, or that wherever it takes us, and we get ideas from that realm, that plane of existence.
Is there a base programming?
Right.
Basically.
And are we tapping
Yeah.
into
I believe that. I do, but I don't think that base programming goes as far as we're going to make T-pillars and we're going to have them be anthropomorphic and have
Yeah.
arms going to a belt buckle or a
Very
giant rock
specific.
hard cock or, very specific thing. But yes, I think there is base programming. It's called instinct. It's called instinct.
Yeah, and it's like, are we tapping into that? And
Yeah.
where does that come from? Where does that base instinct come from?
Well, it's because we're all in a simulation, bro.
I do like the
Matrix.
thought of our brains are more of radios picking up a radio signal.
Yeah.
And when we die, the radio just dies and the radio signal's still there.
Yeah.
We're still tapping into that.
And we're just part of that signal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another.
That's consciousness signal.
The Akashic record. So basically the internet storage of the universe that we all tap into.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which you could call God. You could say
could.
God is energy and God is the consciousness that's giving life to everyone that has consciousness on this earth, and it's all connected. Yeah.
How do people
do
who
that too
have head injuries and stuff like wake up speaking Mandarin, or how do children, like little babies, learn how to fucking read? Like toddlers are reading at an adult level, playing piano perfectly. Like that shit ain't right, man. So yes, I think there's some kind of way that our brain can like decode it. The only weird experience I ever had is I was half asleep at Las Colinas jail, right? And there was two Mexican guys watching some Mexican TV, and it was English to me. I was like on the verge of sleep, and I'm hearing English.
The hell?
I'm hearing fucking English, and I was understanding it. And when I woke up, it was Spanish. When I got it was Spanish. I'm like, holy shit, that's weird.
Or you
Maybe
tripping
in
on?
a previous
Nothing.
life
I was
spoke
actually I
Spanish.
was in jail, so I was sober.
Just okay.
I was
Oh.
sober. Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff like that. I think when we get into talking about simulation theory and other existential stuff like that, there is something when you're sleeping and right before you wake up, you know what time it is. You know what's about to happen. Somebody could walk. Somebody's about to walk through the door. You wake up. That happens. There's something weird about that.
It's like your brain is so relaxed at that point, so you might be accessing that part that is aware of those types of things, because that's basically what meditating is about, is just that point before you fall asleep. You want your body to feel that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe
It's wild connections.
How many
like that
people,
I can't explain.
Like before the Napa earthquake, I woke up about a minute before it hit.
Right, stuff like that.
Middle of the night, I pop up and I'm like, oh, and I'm wide awake, and all of a sudden the fucking house starts shaking like
Eek.
crazy. Yeah. And other people had like that I went to work, they're like, yeah, I woke up too. So like that's kind of a normal thing. So and animals can tell. They freak out well before. Like all the pigeons took off in San Francisco in the 89 earthquake. That was well documented that all the pigeons just bolted before it started. So
there's 100% animals can detect stuff like that. That's why they run. You can tell. So yeah, there's like interesting stuff like that in the Matrix.
A big part of maybe why we're disconnected from nature is the fact that we aren't in nature. Because you know how like when you have too much stimulation with the lights and all the waves all around us, whereas when people live literally, right in the forest.
Oh yeah, the mindset of the ancients was so different that we can't even conceive it. Graham talks about this. A lot of people have talked about this. They had a night sky they could look at all the time. They didn't have all the distractions, and they were more in tune. And maybe there was an advanced form of that that didn't need to develop machines and make plastic, and had other ways. So let's finish this up. I want to talk a little bit about that documentary that we're mainly going to cover next week. Barabar, which I just thought was like, I thought it was just repurposed stuff from that other French documentary we covered, No, so it's much more in depth of that one segment. It's 2 hours of that one segment.
That's
and
what I'm
it's
talking about.
fucking mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. So this will be the and I agree with it. Like they call it the archaeological site of the future. It's like absolutely. Like people need to look at this because it's weird. It's fucking weird and I love it. So they talk about the being in the meditative state and possibly being able to travel long distances, remote viewing, basically. Remote viewing, meditation, astral projection. Maybe it's all kind of the same thing. Tripping balls on ayahuasca. They talk about mandalas. Mandalas are circular patterns, especially the ones from like India. They're really intricate and they're kind of beautiful.
Like Mandela effects?
No, mandalas. Not
okay.
not like
Berenstein Bears?
No.
Mandela
That is
effect.
cool, though.
The Mandela effect is a trip, and I think everybody
It
has
is.
a Mandela effect story. I think everybody does. Absolutely everybody. Like I thought
Berenstein Bears, when that hit me, I was like, what?
It's
Yeah.
Bernstein.
But I think everybody has a personal one. Like they thought a movie star they could have sworn that a movie star was dead and he's alive or something like that.
There's a lot of I think it's just bad memory recall because
I think a lot of that too, but is it a possibility
there are some things that are weird
that it just the matrix gets reset?
But like a lot of thousands of people, maybe millions.
There's a cool I forgot what culture it was, but it was the jinn. So the jinn are outside of time and they can manipulate things in the past and the present, but they can't manipulate your memory of it. So they can manipulate like the world and stuff. So the idea was the jinn go back in time, change stuff, and take the cornucopia off of the fruit of the loom, but they can't change your memory of it. So you still remember.
I still totally remember that, by the way.
Yeah,
I do too.
So,
but that was just like the
to Mandela's really quick. So it's a pattern, right? See the spirals? We see spirals everywhere. So what that is, and then if you look at art from people who have been on like ayahuasca trips, right? And it looks a lot like that too. They don't show it in here, but it looks a lot like that. And this is supposed to be like the realm of the gods, but it's also where the machine elves live. So is there some kind of frequency that we can tap into when we're really fucking sleep deprived or high on peyote or ayahuasca, or after, sitting in a sweat lodge for too long, which I've done? Maybe. They simulated in this part a wormhole. It was basically an observable and traversable wormhole, but it was in virtual reality, right?
Google's quantum computer.
Yes.
They created a model and simulated the entire universe and proved that you could do this in that simulation. But they haven't taken it outside of that yet.
No, and then they used it to demonetize everybody on YouTube.
Yeah. They can do this, but they can't get YouTube to work. Come on.
I know, right?
I don't understand.
Be consistent.
Dan Vask says he pooped a spiral once.
That's gross, Dan.
That's good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good fiber.
Did you do it
Sounds like
outside?
It's probably
structural integrity of that.
Probably, yeah. I don't know about
make
the structural
sense.
integrity of his ass.
Outside.
You gotta have a loose cheeks to be able to do that.
Ooh.
A cool ass looking computer though.
Dan Vask, big YouTuber, by the way. Past 1 million subs. He's got like 5 videos out. They've all got gazillions of views. Amazing Grace.
He says thank you.
Beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. He does a great rendition of that. Yeah. So they did that, and then
that article we just read.
With the article we just read, but I think it's far more possible. I think like remote viewing and quote unquote astral projection, projecting our mind, being able to view something very far away. I think absolutely that's something I can buy more than having enough power to open up a giant hole to walk through. Right. If you ask me which one I believe more, it would be the drug one, honestly. But that's not all drugs. So but I love the concept of it. It makes for great stories. Makes for great stories. And it makes our universe really weird. And if there's just like multiple copies of like Dan Vasc out there, is there one that
Could you
can't
imagine?
sing? Yeah,
Like a whole choir of them,
like a choir of Dan Vascs. Yes,
all pooping spirals.
all pooping
Amazing.
spirals and
Oh my
collecting giant
God.
whale bones.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
You make a whole whale out of it.
So Barabar, you guys probably didn't get a chance to see it.
I watched the
No.
intro bit, but I was researching for this, so I didn't get to finish it. But yeah, I'm excited for it because I like the documentaries that go over a bunch of different sites and kind of the connections between them. But like I said about Ancient Apocalypse, I want them to kind of focus in on one, and it sounds like that's what this is. Just Barabar, just that.
You want to pull up the
Expanded.
pull up the video just
Yeah.
to show the thumbnail and stuff so people can go watch it, because this is your homework for next week.
Yeah.
We're going to cover this in detail. So it is multiple locations in India that are carved into granite. These perfect rooms. What their function is, no idea. They'd be terrible to communicate in because they'd be too echoey. There's no soot in a lot of them. Now there's copycat ones that aren't as good. There's unfinished ones, but there's main ones that look like they're older, and they are absolutely precise, like insanely precise. And these were carved by people in a time, even okay. So they Ahsoka, not Ahsoka, the fucking
God, don't
TV
even-
show.
Stop.
An Emperor Ahsoka from India supposedly commissioned these. That's what the term is by. Look at this. Look at this fucking room. Look at this. Look at the polish on it. Thousands
Wow.
of years old. Thousands of years old. So they think it's from a couple hundred BC or something like that, right?
I don't even think we can do that today.
No, we
They
we can do stuff similar to this for sure, but not with that level of technology.
No, for one, there's no rock on the outside, no debris from when it was dug out.
So they
so
moved
there's-
all of it.
There's an emperor who gifted it to some monks for monsoon shelter, and that's what they really think it is. They really think it is. The problem is the graffiti on it, the writing on it that's like, I am the Emperor Ahsoka, and I give this. It doesn't say I created it. It says I give this.
Mm.
So the archaeologists are like, must be who built it. So they did all this for monsoon shelters.
That's a lot of work for
That's a
monsoon
lot of
shelters, and not a lot of
fucking work.
space. Like
No.
the amount of work to space ratio there for some
No.
monsoon shelters.
So later in the video, they talk about not just the inside being precise. There's a doorway that looks like it goes through crooked, right? But it doesn't go through crooked if you look at it from the outside. So they surveyed somehow. Okay, people who didn't know geometry, who didn't have math, who didn't have any of this stuff, had to pre-plan this perfection that they only had one shot to make, and they have to make it a certain way, did this thing super precise while being able to survey the land outside. They didn't have any equipment that they could have surveyed with. So it is an anomaly. It's fucking bizarre. And we hadn't heard of it. I hadn't heard of it until this documentary we watched a year ago, right? Now
Yep.
they show other things that have been carved that are fucking impressive as fuck, but they're not precise. They're just not. They're not to the point where this is that. Okay, there it is. So you have that little. There's that line right there that goes through the middle. So this guy thinks both these structures were built at the same time, and that little. See, it looks like a hammer, right? Looks like there's the head of the hammer where
Yeah.
the cross is. Where it's the little U point between the hammer and that little structure below. There's a mountain in there that it's precisely fit onto, like a little hill, right? So they had to survey it from the outside
Wow.
before they just dug on this. And it is so like that polish is insane. Like that. And by the way, from the time that they thought it was gifted, they think it was built in, I forgot what they said, a matter of weeks, months. And everybody said, that's impossible. Absolutely impossible. By the way, copper tools couldn't do this because that's granite.
That's insane.
Are they like going through the process?
They're going
of what
through the process
conventional
here, and like
explanation is?
Yeah. And they really go to town on like doing a survey on the inside and giving you a 3D look at it, and we're going to break this whole thing down. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, these are really cool.
Sudama. So they found a bunch of they rediscovered them in the late 1700s, 1800s, and like over the course of 200 years, these were rediscovered. So, but then they go into the other stuff that they've carved in, like the temple they've carved into and that's
into
again
a mountain,
nowhere
like inside of
nowhere near as good as precise as those rooms, but still equally impressive, like crazy. So really good documentary. Go watch it over the course of the week. Jana James
Wow. That looks cool.
narrates it. It's funny. I was watching the chat for this premiere. So she's narrating it and it's in French. So there's a guy speaking for the men, right? For the men. It's her too. She's all, that's me. I'm doing the male voices, and everybody in the chat's all, haha, it's funny. She's all, no, really, it's me. I used an AI voice changer.
Okay. Fair.
So she does the male English translation voices too, which is hilarious.
Love AI.
Yep. So, and that we talked a bit. We're going to talk to, I have an interview with Ben. Remember these from Cosmic Summit?
Yeah.
I got two. I gave these away. These are the pots that the pottery that they found in pre-dynastic graves that Ben has done multiple videos
thousands
on.
of them.
Thousands collected by one pharaoh, basically. One first kingdom pharaoh who just collected them all. And the whole theory is these very primitive, because they found these in primitive graves, that these were heirlooms that were passed down to families from an earlier time. So here's the 3D printing. And these things are so precise. What makes them gnarly is these little handles. Like, there's no way they could have done this. By the way, this one.
Yeah, you can't spin that on a lathe and get the handles.
No.
This one belongs to Krigler. We're going to send it to Krigler. So. But yeah, love this shit. There's so much evidence out there.
Dude, so much stuff going on, and there's so many different sites that are unexplained. Amazing. It's an amazing time.
It is. We are this is where the real all the new legit news is coming from. And hurry up with that Ancient Apocalypse. I think we get it by the end of the year.
I hope so.
For Christmas time, please.
Oh, that'd be present.
It was
as much as I want to binge, I think a weekly model would be better.
It would. Well, we're just going to cover every episode like we did last time. So, let's get to soups, guys. Shall we? Thanks for being here, everybody, on Rumble and YouTube on Nerdrotic Live. How were we on subs on Nerdrotic Live?
We're at 99. What? Let me see. Double check. We're really super close. Nerdrotic Live.
Guys, if you're not subbed and you're watching the live stream,
99.4.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit it down there.
Please.
So 600
because
to
we
go.
have videos coming out.
600 subscribers to go.
That's right.
So close.
And we're over on Rumble. So if you're on YouTube, go over to Rumble.
Follow us there.
And follow us there.
Yep.
We had a pretty fun FNT. The bonus hour ended up being almost 2. But yeah.
It's a good time. It was a good time.
Worked that out.
Still working on things.
Well, we had our house Jew with us, so
Yeah, he talks,
Yeah. JD Kearney. It's a Rumble ramp for 50. Looking forward to when you get deep into simulation theory. In the meantime, shameless plug, I just published a book on Amazon called World Hacker. A guy hacks into the simulation we live in. Ooh, that's a great concept.
What?
I like that.
Cool.
I like it. Zorbu on the Streamlabs side for $20 says, this just in, Earth Gary, Zorbu. I read this one, didn't I? No,
This is
no, it's a different one. This just in, Gary. Zorbu and the Neptunes got another gig. This one is at Skinwalker Ranch in Dugway Proving Ground, Utah, opening for Winger. Fucking Winger.
Winger.
Shows at the end of October. Tickets online now. Promotional code Krigler says probes taste funny for 10% off. I love Krigler catching strays when he's not here. As is Wonky Eyebrow for $2. You have not heard of X-Ray. You have not heard X-Ray Girl on gaming streams? What, do you cuss on gaming streams?
No.
You dirty though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're dirty, but you don't cuss.
No.
I didn't write Blackadder for 10 British pounds, proper money. Been to Peru twice. Have a great time. So cheap too. I went to a place to eat and they had to go to the bank to change 20 solas note. Less than 5 pounds. Cusco is great and not far from Sacred Valley. Oh, we're going to Cusco.
Hey, give us any other tips. If you've been to Cusco and you've been to Peru, let us know. Give us great places to go.
Dude, I heard the food's good.
I heard the food is good, but you could also get sick.
You can get sick anywhere you go.
Poisoning, so
I got sick here, so
that's true.
Well, I mean, I think don't drink the water kind of goes for everywhere, and it's not really. It's just because our water's. It's just we're used to it. So,
although glacial water, they don't have glaciers there, right? I don't think so.
Yeah, they
glacier
do.
water has worms. Doesn't
Do they? Oh, I mean, I drink it.
Peru's filled with mountains. Are you kidding me? But yeah, I don't know. I ate it in Sicily. It was fine.
Sicily.
I think UK is.
I've eaten in Mexico.
The Europe's is fine.
In fucking Mexico.
Oh, I'm gonna eat there. Okay, I'm gonna get some of the. What are those? What's the delicacy there in Peru? The little
the guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
You gonna eat a guinea pig with me?
I will. I will. I'll do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's eat guinea pig.
Nope.
I went to the pet store and I saw guinea pig. I was like,
that's what I do when I see dogs.
can't wait. You also go to the pet store and you're like, nom, nom, nom. It's a different area.
ISO El Dorado for $20. Quarter Black is, I just built my first PC. Any recommendation for games and programs? Also, I RSVP'd for Pizza Bar at San Diego Comic-Con. I can only go for an hour or two due to work, but I'm excited to meet you guys. Hey, I look forward to seeing you there. I mean, I'm not going to be there I'm going to be there for 3 hours minimum. So
built a PC, get Steam, and play some video games.
It's Steam.
Yeah.
There's a place to go.
Yeah, there's the Indiana Jones game bundle for like $6 and you get all the old Indiana Jones games.
Heck yes.
Fuck yeah. It's awesome.
Elden Ring, if your computer
Elden
can
Ring just
handle
came
it.
A little too easy
With
for
the
me.
DLC.
Too easy.
It's too easy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
We can't all be a
Who needs a
pro,
pause button? Yeah.
I have kids, so I can't, I need a pause
situational
button.
disability.
Hide behind
Get
your
it right.
situational disabilities. Okay. J Thoma 8318 on the rant, a Rumble rant for $10 says there was literally stone tools just found thousands of years old, then established timeline in North America. Also, plate tectonics was derided. What's that word?
Oh,
Unique?
derided, unique, and quite.
Not my
and
fault.
Quite
And quite recent. She put in quite recent
times.
Relatively, yes.
Sorry about that.
No,
Don't-
no, you're not sorry. Shut the hell up. Curtis Hart for $4.99. Y'all should do an episode on the Superstitious Mountains. I read that one. But thank you. A Dartmouth on a rant for $2. Let's hope Boomer Nerdrotic will read this. Let's go Rumble. Ha ha.
We
I read
did.
it.
Just to say, we have 3,700 on Rumble
Hell yeah.
and 2,000 over on YouTube. Thank you guys.
This is our biggest episode yet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hell
Welcome
yeah.
everyone.
Hail. Alec Baldwin's finger for $10 never misses. I've been to Choco Canyon. They will tell you that they have no idea why the civilization died out there. There is evidence of cannibalism they won't talk about. Yeah, That I knew about. And I would completely believe because it's barren. It's a weird place to put a structure. It's a very weird place. Vets talking. What's up, Vets talking? Hail, brothers and sisters. $20. I was in Iraq for the invasion. A lot of vets agree from experience that there were chemicals and other weapons there. Yeah, dude. Yes. A lot of your fellow vets, and I am very sorry to report this, came back very fucking sick with some weird stuff, died, permanently disabled, and our government
Wouldn't be the
did
first time.
fucking nothing. Makes me mad.
Wouldn't be the first time. Like Agent Orange.
Yep. But the government kept it secret. Why we went is extremely complicated. Extremely complicated. I agree. But I think the war machine is part of it. I don't blame any vet who went out there. There's a lot of vets who went out there and thought they were doing the right thing, and I don't blame them for that. I don't think you're all a bunch of dummies. I think a lot of people went out there. Like there was bad shit going on. There's bad shit going on in the entire world. But the way
I hold you guys in high regard.
High regard. The way our government treated you when you got back, fuck that shit.
And
Fuck that shit. Damn. Chupacabra said to meet at Stump at 6:30 tonight. I guess we just mythed each other. Bigfoot for $20. Oh my god.
He's a chupacabra.
That's a good dad joke. It's actually a good dad joke. But vets talking. Love you guys. Love you guys.
Peeps.
You'll have to forgive my eternal mistrust of the government. That's the way I was born. Justin Martins for $10. Garrett's just hoping to get his own Stargate for direct line to Zorbu and his bros. Checks out.
And his bros. There's more Zorbus now.
Zorbros. They're
Zorbros.
oh,
I don't want to know.
Gatekeeper for $10. Gary, I need to know when you'd like me to continue to support you. Should I through YouTube or Rumble from now on? Still wishing you all continued success and good health. Gatekeeper, whatever way you can watch, like whatever way you choose. But this show will be on Rumble, but it's just a live version that's exclusive. So we're still doing Forbidden Frontier stuff on Nerdrotic Live. It will be clips. It will be interviews. Occasionally we'll do a special, but the weekly Sunday show will be on Rumble. And for the time being, I'm guessing month 2, we're going to dual stream. Right. And that's what Rumble wants. They want people to go over there. So, and that's up to you. It's ultimately up to you. Rumble is a platform that's new, so it's not going to be perfect. Remember YouTube in the old days? By the way, we found out that Rumble has a live streaming limit.
Yeah, we discovered that because we hit it.
I remember when YouTube had one.
Yeah,
I remember when YouTube had it. Well, dude, it was 8 hours, right? So if you hit it, you're like, holy shit. But yeah, remember uploading a video on YouTube in 2006? Holy shit. For one, it would kick it out most of the time. You had to do so.
You ever try to watch a video that was uploaded back then?
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's rough. John Dalt for $13.99 Canadian says, cheers from Ottawa. Thanks for the great content. Thank you. And cheers in Ottawa. Hope you're having a great summer up there. Matthew Hammond for $2. You had me at Stargate. Matthew, do you just like have a Stargate episode on in the background, like at all times? And if you do, I respect the hell out of you, because there were many, 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 many years where there was a Doctor Who episode on one of my screens, like even with the audio off at all times. The reason I pointed over there is I have a monitor there and I have a monitor right there that are just like purely there for decoration. They always got something rolling. Usually, that one over there is always Fellowship of the Ring. So Shumani Tentaka Awachi on a Rumble rant for $10. I watched 4 hours of Terrence Howard and Eric Weinstein talking on JRA, and I still have no idea what they said. Yeah, we were supposed to talk about it tonight, and
There's not much to talk about
I
because I
like
feel
that
like he just
episode.
ran away half the time, mid-thought. I feel like his
Yeah.
brain's too scattered.
Eric Weinstein explained it really well. It's like he taught himself, so he doesn't know the terminologies correctly, but he's
Yes.
like on the right track in some ways, but then overreaching in other ways because he self-taught himself.
Weinstein was a perfect gentleman to him.
Just a mensch, dude.
He was
Like he
very
was
kind,
perfect.
yes.
And
That was
I
great.
respect the shit out of him for like that's how you debate. Like listen, I'm not going to belittle you, but like you know, like let's get you on the right path, like a teacher, like a real fucking teacher. So I just tons of respect for him for that. And if I had the name Weinstein, I would pronounce it Weinstein too, for lots of reasons. But
Yep.
no, I like both those. I really think they're really good speakers and like insanely hyper intelligent. And Eric Weinstein was the guy who I think his name, who's the guy who's in the shed all the time at Skinwalker? I always forget his name.
Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah.
So he like showered Eric with praise. Like this guy has a big fucking brain. Like a big brain.
Skinwalker.
So, yeah, on Skinwalker. So Eric from Skinwalker is like hangs out with the Weinsteins and stuff and knows them. And like this guy's legit. Nathan Sherwood for $2. What do you think about Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat? Okay. Yes. Perfect.
Actually, damn, that is a good pick.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
You're onto something there.
Yeah. Darramouth rant for $2. Let's go, Rumble. Let's go. Logan Miller for $9.99. I fucking love this show. Thank you. Maybe you're talking about Ancient Aliens, though, not our show. I'm just going to think you're talking about our show, though. Matthew Hammond for $2 on the rant. Did you say Krigler is getting probed? Yes. He's on a ship getting probed.
An ancient ship.
An ancient ship getting probed. The Morgue 77 for $10 on a Rumble rant. Goblin dipshit checking in. Sorry, I'm late. Don't be late again. It's okay. Movation $5 on a Rumble rant. My first ever rant. Lock it in. Yay. Yay. Maverick 626 for 10 British pounds. In the 90s, some scientist on Discovery Channel talked about a spiral laser tunnel as a time machine due to the photonic bending. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Coming from Dodie, it's 50-50 disinfo or black budget tinkering with that tech. You could look at it like him and Lou Elizondo. You can look at it. There's a couple ways you can look at it, that they're here for misinformation, which, by the way, the government has done. So I will point out that if UFOlogy is a bunch of bullshit, why does the government need to come in and spread misinformation? And it's not just because they're getting close to fucking tech, because honestly, a good ufologist would find this tech we're working on, which is probably just some badass plane, fucking boring compared to UFO. Yeah. They want to find out about UFOs. If they ran across like some super jet that looks like the X jet, which is actually based on a real jet, but you know, something like that, they go, oh, damn, it's not a UFO. They'd be disappointed. So, so with Lou Elizondo, like, I think Lou Elizondo probably has to understand that people are never going to like him for what he did in the government, and they have to go the extra mile to convince people that they're not misinformation agents. They do. That's just a fact of life. If you're from the government, like most people in ufology are not going to fucking trust you. They're just not. And when it gets political, like when certain people I respect a lot, will believe some people from the government because they're on their side, that's bullshit too. James Fox, I give him all the credit in the world because I know James Fox is openly like a liberal dude, but he talks to both sides for his documentaries. Talks to both sides equally to get to the information.
I like his documentaries.
Yeah,
he's really working
on. He's almost done with one. We're getting one soon.
Really?
I think within a month we're getting.
That's on this show.
Yep.
Talk about that.
But the guy you're talking about on Discovery Channel was a black guy, right? It's the guy who was bending light and did the time travel thing with bending light. I think forgot his name though, so forgive me. Raven K for $10. Fun story. Smoked some 100 times salvia, stepped away from reality into this gray and stormy world, hung out for a second, got scared, and stepped back into the normal world. I believe it. I've gone on crazy fucking trips. Crazy trips that I cannot explain. I didn't write Blackadder for 5 British pounds, proper money. I love Death Proof. Watched it twice the first day buying it. Guess people with different tastes can still get on after all most of the time. Yeah, we get like you can like Death Proof. I just thought it was a bunch of like
boring
hot women who got less hot as it went on, yakking.
And their feet. Dude, that one scene where I don't want to get into it, but the camera going around that table and they were just yip, yap. And I was like, where's Kurt Russell? Bring in the car. Where's the Death Proof?
Yeah. And like Quentin's usually like, I know some people don't like Quentin. I like Quentin Tarantino. Not everything he does, but like his dialogue is usually exquisite, like really good. It was just shit for that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about that one, but hey, it was not good.
But Planet Terror was dope. I loved it.
And the commercials in between, Hobo with a shotgun. Come on. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. Oh, the trailers. That was almost the best part. But Rose McGowan with the machine gun leg was fucking. Yep. I went to a Comic-Con. They were promoting it. I went to a Comic-Con. I still have that picture floating around. And they had a model there who didn't have a leg. So they found a model. And they dressed her up like
is there an
Rose
agency
McGowan.
for that?
And I asked her, I walked up to her. I'm like,
we're looking for
I'm going to sound rude, but I have to know, like, where did they find? Yeah. She's all, yeah, I'm part of a modeling agency and they found me. She was super nice. Absolutely wonderful woman. But, yeah, some dorky. I'm like, I gotta know, man. I gotta know.
Did they just find you on the street?
She was super fucking cool about me probably being a major asshole, but she was super cool and I appreciated that. Toilet Bug for $10. Another Sunday fun day. Thanks again. Great seeing the Gen Xer nerd again and meeting X-Ray Girl in Vegas. Garrett, you got gasoline. Hail. Now let's get hyped for Hot D. Oh, and hail the 199. Disney could suck it. Hail.
Hail.
They're going to be sucking it for the next couple of weeks till Agatha comes out, which is September, by the way, guys.
God,
So
September's going to be busy.
Get this huge break from shit. Well, like we'll get Deadpool and Wolverine, which will probably be a nice respite, right? It'll be fun. It'll be something that won't suck. Hopefully. And then Rings of Power and Agatha start like at the same time. So let's enjoy Hot D while we can.
Enjoy the Hot D.
Well, enjoy the Hot D.
I'm going to.
Well, I mean, somebody was enjoying some Hot D in the show last week. I mean, you thought the Acolyte was bad, like in House of Dragon. This was shocking for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, they've talked about like fingering girls' butts and all kinds of crazy shit, but like they had a girl, and I don't know if it was real or not. I didn't.
No, that was definitely a prosthetic.
Sucking on a guy's dick.
Wow. Yeah. They just like showed it.
Yes.
Yep. Like the full on. He's up and she's going at it.
Wow. All right.
Mm-hmm. It's not just boobs anymore.
They at least have boobs to offset it a little bit, so that was good. Daramouth for $1 in the Rumble rant. Shuttlecock. That's all he says.
Sportsman. I see.
Curtis Hart for hang on. Read the next one, X-Ray Girl.
Curtis Hart for $9.99 because you read my other chat 3 times. Whoopsies.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I appreciate that.
Mod Eric for $1 says, even in a small boat, you can follow. Finish reading.
Oh gosh. Even in a small boat, you can follow the ice around. Guess what they made them?
Fucking choking, asshole.
Oh my god. And Basil 578. Thank you for being a traveler. Says Gary, is it buttered or lube instead?
Yes. Gardner Goldsmith, a rant for $10. Hi, Gary, plus all former Star Trek Voyager writers room guy here. Oh, whoa, really?
Whoa,
yeah.
Wow, really?
Dude.
Escape LA, been doing libertarian streaming. Hell yeah, hoping to start a channel on writing punk rock more. Would love to have you guys as guests. Let me know. I got questions for you.
Sorry what I've said about Voyager. It's not my favorite.
It's not your fault. You were in the writer's room. You weren't making the decisions. I'm sure you would have like explained things like,
Like,
supply.
write this captain off.
Yes. I mean, they did, like, sometimes they did, but yeah.
That's super cool, though. I'd love to hear stories about that.
Astari Azul for $4.99. You guys should explore the mystery of world fairs. Just look at any vid on St. Louis or Chicago World Fair. Definitely missing history. The World Fairs was they did not like one like as big as Chicago, but they did one in San Diego, and that's why Balboa Park exists, because of that fair. And all the structures there were built for just for that, and they kept them up. And same thing with San Francisco too. So all the stuff they have near Pier 39 was all built for a World's Fair, and they just kept it up. But it wasn't like meant to last past like a couple of years. And it's still up. So Gatekeeper for $10. Let me be more specific. What benefits my favorite YouTuber the most? When I throw money your way, I can watch you both. I'll watch you no matter what. Where you go? I would say
Rumble's Streamlabs is probably the best.
Streamlabs, yeah. Rumbles. Yeah, YouTube takes 30%, but I'm grateful for, like, YouTube has provided me with a great opportunity. They're not perfect. They've been a headache once in a while, but a lot of times they leave me the fuck alone. So let's be real. There's some Friday Night Tights they could have.
Some? All. Most.
Yeah.
Thunderstorm for $4.99. According to their own history, they mass murdered a white tribe in North America and made clothing out of their hair. The book of life among the Paiutes.
Oh, Paiutes.
Yes. According to their own history, they were pretty bad to each other. And they're open about it. They enslaved each other. They were the last ones to give up slaves.
Trail of Tears, man. Trail of Tears. There was slaves on that trail.
Southeastern Kaiju for $2. My first Forbidden Frontier Rumble rant. Hail. Thank you. Basil, 578 for $5. All these attacks and name calling just shows how much the establishment and the mainstream media is losing. It takes away all the power of those words. And isn't it interesting that this realm now, ufology, mainly ancient civilizations, is now seeing the same shit that nerds were of just a few that still are, but started a while ago when we started calling out stuff like The Last Jedi. Aren't you noticing a pattern here with comic book fans, gaming, movies? Now it's getting into ancient civilizations and our actual history. And I've always said, we just talk about pop culture and ancient civilizations here, but it's always been bigger than this. It's always been bigger. And now you're seeing the same shit happen to Graham, to Randall, to anybody who talks about this stuff. Fucking Luke deals with this stupid shit. Jimmy deals with this stupid shit. Ben, all these guys are starting to deal with stuff that we've when we said, hey, this Last Jedi movie really sucks. We're big Star Wars fans and we hated what you did to Luke. Well, you're a fucking bigot because you don't like women. I'm like, I just said I don't like what you did to Luke. There's a noticeable pattern, and it comes from somewhere, and we all know this. And when we get it exclusively on Rumble, we can really fucking talk. We can talk about the nature of where this counter criticism comes from. It rhymes with Farxist. It's Marxist. It's fucking Marxist. It's Marxist globalist fucking bullshit.
Well, the Kanye, I'm not going to say it. It's Marxist.
It's Marxist. Well, I'm not going to come to Kanye's conclusion, but
yeah, it's more of an ideology and a way of trying to control the world and get power through Marxism, and disguising that and being sneaky about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It takes away all the power of those words. It does. It never truly bothered me. It was like shocking to hear it first when I was talking about Doctor Who and somebody called me a misogynist. And I'm like, wait till I do something misogynistic to call me misogynist. Bitch, make me a sandwich, something like that. But my wife made me a sandwich today. It was excellent. It was so good.
My wife makes great sandwiches, man.
Yeah, my wife. There you go. Good husband. You trained her well. Taught her to make good sandwiches.
I took her to Sandwich College.
That would be a misogynistic statement. I still stand by it, and I have no regrets and no apologies. But
Just
that would be a better
real.
example. Yeah, fuck that. They now
Yeah.
I don't care. Now it's a badge of honor, right? It's just a badge of honor. Like our boss went to prison. Steve Bannon. He's in prison.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jeremy from the Quartering.
Did Jeremy go to prison too? He probably should.
Oh, that racist.
Yep.
God damn it.
Just fucking speed up your videos, man.
2 times speed.
2 times speed, Jeremy. Hello, Jeremy. Happy Plague Doctor for $5 rant. I grew up 9 miles from the res. Fuck their feelings. They don't care about themselves. I mean, it's cultural, right? It's not all their fault. An individual's life is their fault. It is your fault. It is your individual decision to be whatever situation you're at. Society might not treat you fairly, and that's fucked up. But there's a point where you go, I'm not getting treated fairly, and I never will. And then you figure out a way to deal with that. And then you realize that, oh, everybody's not being treated fairly. Everybody, the word privilege gets thrown around. The amount of people who are actually privileged is that 1% they talk about. It's a very small amount. The rest of us have to deal with a very unfair life. A very unfair life.
Just how it is.
Yep.
Life isn't fair. Never is.
There's some people who are handed that privilege and fuck it up.
There's something for that reservation thing, though. There are stories of tribes that left the reservation and are doing phenomenally in life and success because they're not just taking the handouts from the government. And that's the same thing, not just the reservations. That's the same thing for welfare states and all that stuff out there. Is like you get that invisible chain from the government and go, just feed me and put me in a house and do all this stuff for me. You never aspire to get better, to open up a business and make your life better and make your kids' lives better because you're just taking the money from the state.
Yeah. And the craziest part, it's their choice to do that. But they always want to blame someone else for their choices.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame the world because I don't want to leave this place. Right. And the same goes for any environmental thing. And like I've said, I've been to prison and I see a lot of wasted youth in there because they were brought up with zero hope. Now, ultimately, it's their fault for not finding it. You can blame their parents or the lack thereof. There's a
support
point where,
system for their
if you want to, and you're not blaming the right politicians, you keep voting in the same ones that want to keep you on that reservation or in that hood or whatever. And California is a great. That's just from my anecdotal observations in California, where you see a place like Oakland. You think they'd be desperate to vote in anybody on any opposite side, and they don't.
Yeah, let's just try something different. How about that?
Yeah, and it's like
but maybe that's not even their fault. That's the government's fault. They could be voting in all kinds of different directions.
They might be, yeah. So that's a complex problem, but you drive through Oakland, it's fucking a shithole.
Yeah.
And it's filled with abandoned, derelict houses, and it's just a shithole. In California, just across from one of the richest cities in the country, in the world. That's a shithole too, by the way. It's an absolute shithole. How are we doing on time? We're good. Okay. Pookie Daddy on the rant side for $5.
You from Oakland?
Yeah. I want to shoot a rocket in the green jelly. There you go. I think they will. Dude, they shot a fucking huge rocket. Huge. I mean,
see what they're going to do next episode?
Of actual
drones?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
1,000 drones. They're going to do like a grid system.
Again? Oh.
Yeah, but
I
bigger.
did like that. And I hope a bigger rocket.
Always got to get bigger.
With the 1.6 gigahertz.
Jose Taco on the stream line for $1.99. The Grand Canyon has more answers of a young Earth. Also, dinosaur bones have been found with cartilage disproved millions of years and that the continental drift was rapid, we'll send email and YouTube channel links. Okay, cool.
Cool.
I think some stuff did happen a lot faster than they said it did. I think the dinosaurs have been gone for a long time. What they have found cartilage on is the bones at the boneyard in Alaska. Because that was flash frozen. So they found skin and cartilage and all that stuff.
DNA. Wow.
Gardner Goldsmith, Rumble rant for $10. There wasn't a week that went by when one of the writers didn't say, "Can't we just kill Janeway already?" I'll try to reach you and hit me up. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Best to you, brother.
Good to hear.
Gatekeeper for $10 on the Streamlabs side. My favorite YouTuber will receive my money through Streamlabs, and when I can remember here, take more of my money. Thank you, Gatekeeper. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Congillion for $1 says, watch in-depth explanation of what caused Noah's flood and on the Is Genesis History YouTube channel. Oh, I'll check that out. I love that stuff. I have a biblical and ancient text, religious ancient text history. The Vedics, biblical, love that shit. Love it. Because I think it comes from a lot of truth.
What's that website? Ancienttext.net or .org or something like that? It has like all of it has Muslim and Christian and Jewish and Buddhist and Hindu.
Did you see the link I put in Discord yesterday? I didn't put anything around it, but it's from Johanna James' video on the labyrinth, and it's the full report of the French artist that the French artist commissioned of the Egyptian labyrinth. Sorry, I was thinking of text.
Really?
That's why I thought of that. Yeah. So it's in our Discord. We can read it.
Oh wait, I see it. Yeah.
Daramouth for $2 says, did everyone forget the show Sliders? No, it's one of my wife's all-time favorite shows, by the way. Come on now. That was gold back in the day. That was I think it's like in her top 3 favorite shows of all time. Brent Wolf on the rant for $5. Weren't the ancients transporter pillars in various episodes of Stargate 1 as T-pillars? Like the one that hidden group of Jaffa warriors in seasons 9 through 10. No, I don't know about 9 through 10. Matthew Hammond can answer that question in chat. He'll do it right now. He'll go, yes, it was actually in episode 23 of season 9, which aired on March 15th of season 9 of Stargate.
Encyclopedia.
2003, 4, something like that. I don't know. Rakin Knight for $10. No,
Rakin, what's up?
For $10. Awesome to see you guys on Rumble. To the audience coming over here, stick around and check out some Rumble creators. We got some awesome people here. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Southeastern Kaiju for $2. I think we U.S. military have some neat gadgets, but nothing obtained from out there or so amazing as to change civilization. Change my mind. I would argue that some of it will be used. That's why it's hard for me to believe that there is a drone out there from some country that looks like a Tic Tac that can just cross a country in a matter of it's so fast and predictive, it would change the world overnight.
That's my whole argument for them not having it, because I'm like, I feel like they would use it. I feel like they would use it
to transport stuff.
I feel like it's out of their hands.
Practical use. You have this drone that can go damn near the fucking speed of light, whatever. You could transport medical supplies like quickly, like somebody's in the middle of the desert fucking dying. You know, I know that's not profitable. Or you could bomb the shit out of people and they would never fucking know. You wouldn't have to send a single troop anywhere. If you wanted to take out a leader, just zip that thing over there. Yeah.
As Hillary Clinton would say, can't we just drone them?
Yeah, you can infiltrate a lot of different buildings that you would not normally be able to. So,
recon.
Safe and effective vax for $5. Check out Dark Journalist and Dr. Joseph Farrell. They talk about how during the Second Gulf War, secret teams went in and stole items that were evidence from our lost ancient past. Them looting a museum to take the shit, that spoils a war. I absolutely see us doing that. Dragon, and honestly, there will be a good explanation for it. We're destabilizing this entire country. All this shit's going to get sold off to some. So we'll keep it safe as the authority here. That's their logic. Just saying. They actually have a reason that I know is bullshit, but like would convince other people that they could do it. Pyramid in Crimea, Ukraine is dated 65 million years old, allegedly with a sarcophagus of a body wearing a crown. Holy shit. Dragon Wise for $2. B-Chain 315. These are all Rumble rants, by the way, for $5. Wormhole travel equals Cygnus X1. Go through wormhole, get atomizer, become Greek god. Sounds fine to me. Hail Gorbidden Frontier. Gorbidden.
Hey.
Gorbidden Frontier.
What you doing there?
Thunderstorm $4.99. To people with PTSD, check out EFT and EMDR therapy techniques. There you go. Yeah, PTSD.
That is
fucked up. Matthew Hammond for $5 of the rant. If you walk through a Stargate, does the same person exit on the other end, or is it a copy and the original person dies? Well, when you get transported.
Same thing with transporters.
Yep. Bronzonite,
like Prestige.
$2. Or Prestige, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, and let's get ready to rumble. This is my first time watching outside of FNT. Ever talk about the new Grange? Crazy ley lines there, too.
Oh.
No. Wild shit. I'll have to check it out. Shardul, Salapur, 65 Salapur for 65 Swedish krona. Crazy. I used to visit these places in India as a kid and took them for granted. As an adult, it's now fascinating to look at again. Thanks, guys. Yeah, well, as a kid, you're like, oh, just some, fucking caveman dug this out. Like, duh. And then you realize, oh, this is really hard. This is really impossible.
Kind of ridiculous.
I think a lot of archaeologists naively went in and just went like old time. The 1800 ones were like, no, this is remarkable. But some people are just like, yeah, it's old. And they pulled it off. They had to, because nothing existed before the time we said so. It's impossible. It couldn't have existed. There's no evidence that anything civilization existed longer than 6,500 years ago, because we determined that. So we will not consider the possibility, because we determined it already. It's settled science. That's fucking insane.
And if you ask questions or have some kind of theory on it, you're a racist. You're trying to upend native cultures and out of here.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Joseph Ferguson for $5. The T pillars could be the equivalent of power or light poles. They could be. Meme rap.
I think so.
Okay. Could be meme rape.
Or meme rap.
Meme rap. $5 rant says, please replace Krigler with Kurt, please. And also an episode of Coral Castle might be warranted. We'll have Kurt on. We're not going to replace Krigler. Ryan, but thank you. Thank you. And yes, Coral Castle should be an episode. Ryan Planeswalker for $2. Some suggestion for the person who asked Darksiders series. You get to play as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Oh, that's cool. Here, read the next one, please, X-Ray Girl.
Sure. Bronzonite for $2 says, I remember ISIS destroying artifacts in museum in Damascus and other parts of Syria, erasing history.
Yep.
I do. Yep. That's another reason to take that stuff. But that's very good. Darmouth for $5 on a rant. It's Darumuth. Okay. For future reference. Thank you. Hope Rumble works out for the long run, because it's nice to give you more here. Also, the Terrence and Eric JRE was amazing and very teacher-student moment. Yeah. He was very nice.
I would love to have him as a teacher. Like, he sounds like a great college
He's very
teacher.
patient, which a lot of people don't have.
Matthew Hammond asked, does the Monday Nooner start tomorrow? Yes. Tiggs, is that a word? 08 week or
Tiggs?
I don't know. For $2 Limitless has always fascinated me. The movie states we only use 20% of our brain. That's not true. but it's true that we don't use all of our brain at once. Imagine fight or flight and logic mixed. Hail.
Yeah. That's a
Flamoose.
good movie. I did like that movie.
Welcome to Rumble. Forbidden Frontier joining you from the gazebo an hour north of socialist Seattle, where it's hotter than Chrissy Mayer's sweaty tit. 91. It's 91. Loving the show. Here's many more.
100 over here, man.
It's so cold now that I'm back in Canada. I don't like it.
Darumuth. There, I got it for $2. Gary, the $1 was to try to put naughty words in Rumble rant. So dick, LOL. Haha. Also says Rumble takes 20% on Rumble rants, but lets creators have 100% of the monthly subs. Let's go Rumble. Oh, there you go. UK Boomer for $1. Next time you're in the UK, visit Cornwall Street. St. Michael's Mount and small tidal island was originally called the Big Hill in the Woods. Oh. Driztix 19 for $5. Gary and crew. My wife is from Bolivia. I have been there many times to see family and have been all over the country. The Salt Flats, La Paz, Copacabana, Lake Titicaca, and Tiwanaku were my favorite. There you go.
Very cool.
Tenero for $4.99. Don't forget to buy the wormhole dinner. Keep up the great work, you wonderful people. Oh, thank you. And Toilet Bug for $5 says 2 days ago, I saw a rig big enough to haul the tank, a tank of gas. You want out of here? You talk to Garrett. Talk to Garrett.
Talk to me.
Talk to Garrett.
You went out of here. Talk to me.
Jose Contreras for $1. War trophies. Plenty of guys take stuff home. You can't do it, but they did. Somehow, I know now I got some sort of Bible made out of human skin. I know some got some sort of Bible made out of human skin. I wouldn't be. I know about book. You can see pictures of them. There's books made of human skin. Yes. I didn't want to get near it. Nope, I wouldn't either.
Like a Necronomicon.
Bronzonite for $1. New Grange and Island, 5,000 years old, unknown, later used to bury kings. Sunlight lines up inside during equinox. Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. Japanese business CEOs have meditated there. Yes. Daramuth. All right. Balls. LOL. That's it. That's where we're wrap it up.
That's it. A great way to end it right there. Balls. Oh, we have some monthly supporters. We should chat. Wait. Mod Eric for $1. Come on and let's hawk taw this thing. Oh, Jesus. So the meme's dead, Eric.
Yes, the meme is dead.
It's dead.
Herp saw the hamster, Clyde dashing, Louis C. Who was a traveler. Thank you very much. Republican Sentinel.
Yes.
Isco Kid 4, Toxic Man Flu, Team One Summer, Diego Salazar, Flav. The freebie. Hail Gary, QBG, X-Ray Girl. Love the channel. Thank you. Was Os F1 Hatchet was Os Tipper 709, Mark Hatchet Clark, and Mark Shaw. Welcome.
Good people.
Good people.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Well, now I get to stream for another 3 hours.
But you get to watch some. Well, this was fun. But
this was fun.
I'm so excited for House of the Dragon.
Oh, this is gonna be a good episode.
Oh, it's gonna be a good episode.
18 minutes, so I got to get going. So if over on the main channel, if you want to watch our Hot D coverage on Nerdrotic with we rotate Australian, so Shad is on, so hopefully there won't be a woman sucking a giant cock, and might hurt his delicate sensibilities. Thank God Odin didn't see that. Degeneracy in Game of Thrones. Yes.
Absolutely.
Soft tissue and cells and dino bones is absolutely real. It's not even uncommon. Check out Mark Armitage video says, and this is from Mountain Pass Music. They will blow your mind.
Cheers. There's another one from Tiggs for $1. Says, Gary, you done with Dan's song yet? I'm in SO Illinois.
Dan's gonna have to help me because the notes I thought I found I lost. So I'm trying to go.
Sorry.
I had written this whole thing on my way to New Mexico.
Ah.
I got most of it in mind. He'll be able to figure it out.
Did you
He
chisel it on
says,
a
Trail of Tears ran
Ella?
through here. Lots of arrowheads, a lot of places named after Egypt, and a town called Mounds. Weird on JRE.
Interesting.
Weinstein defined respect. There you go.
Interesting. All right. What do you got coming up, Garrett?
Tomorrow, it's Adam Krigler on his channel, Base Staff. We're doing that. And then after that, Resident Evil 2 stream, where I'm going to wrap up the game, hopefully, in the third stream. We're keeping it tight this time. And then Normal World. If you haven't already watched the Empowered Ranger sketch from Normal World,
so
go check
good.
it out. We spent a long time working on it. It was like 5 months. So please go check it out. I thought it turned out really well. It was really fun. Those suits are tight. So go check it out.
Tight.
Cool. Did you have to keep it?
Oh yeah, we still have them. We got all the stuff, so we can make more. Ready to make
excited.
more
We
stupid sketches. That's it.
Can't wait. Cool. X-Ray Girl.
I don't know what I'm doing, but at some point I'm going to do a gaming stream. Probably play Bayonetta or Elden Ring. I'm still figuring that out. And then hopefully I get better. Also, there's another one from Daremouth for $2. Says, as of this moment, 3.7K watching and 80K following on Rumble. FNT reached 11K on Friday, which is freaking awesome. So thank you guys for that. And sub to Nerdrotic Live. We were so close to 100K.
So close.
So close.
So close. All right. Yeah, House of the
9.
Dragon, then Nooner tomorrow, then video and Acolyte on Tuesday. We're seeing it through. We got
How many episodes? 2?
2 more to go. We got an evergreen video I'm gonna start working on. That'll be out probably when we're at con. We'll release it then. I think that'll be a good time to release it. And you're going to be at con. I'm going to be at con. We got a meetup. We got a signing. Did you know we have a signing? We have a signing Saturday morning, 12 to 1, at Big Man Comics booth. And then we'll be running around. Be fun. So until next time, next Sunday, we're going to talk about Barabar. The documentary is on Johanna James' channel. Please go check it out. It's a couple hours long. It's pretty amazing. Until next time, folks. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.